killed the dinosaurs. The Ice Age.
You want a cup of Joe with juice?
I'm gonna make you famous, Lizzie.
It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Dunkachino?
Don't mind if I do.
I'm the Joker, baby.
Welcome to Lights Camera Barstool, episode 44 of season 2. Jeff Lowe alongside. Kenjack is sick today, by the way. Shout out to Kenjack. We never get sick on this pod, so that's a shock. A week after I sounded like complete dog shit. Alongside Chris Castellani and producer Gooch, we're going to do a little no review pod today, a big draft, a movie draft. Also, we're interviewing the Russo Brothers, directors of Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, and The Gray Man. Also, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and many other things. Cherry. Also directed many episodes of Arrested Development, which is actually what we talked about, I think, the most. We talked a lot of Arrested. Because, at what point are you going to just... I just could not... I just didn't feel like harassing them anymore about Marvel. Which they clearly got harassed all week about it.
Yeah.
Because the only headline about them is, are they going to direct Secret Wars? Are they going to direct Secret Wars? We talked to the Russo brothers the second time. It was fun. We had a really good time with them. It's always nice when you can tell like in a press junket that they actually are like mildly enjoying the conversation. That's the biggest compliment we could ever possibly get. This episode of Lights Camera Barstool, however, before we get into many things, is brought to you by Whatnot. Live stream auction app, where you can buy collectibles, comics, really anything. If you follow any sports thing on Instagram, you've probably seen Whatnot advertised. You can go watch some live streams of people auctioning stuff off, breaking cards, all that stuff. They found that crazy ass triple logo man, LeBron. So for like $2.7 million, I think. Crazy shit. Brings businesses and people together through commerce where sellers can host live streams. Happening 24/7. You never know what you're going to find. Never know what people are watching going to find. And now Barstool, Whatnot's newest seller, going to be live twice a week on Whatnot, running live shows, selling never before seen auction items and Whatnot exclusives. Download the Whatnot app, Whatnot, all one word, app, and follow the Barstool Sports account at Barstool Sports. You'll be the first to get notified when we go live. Use the link in the description to get $10 off your first purchase on Whatnot. I'm a big Pokemon cards box breaker. I love seeing old Pokemon cards get ripped open. It's like. It gives me a little FOMO and jealousy as well.
There's too many cards now. Too many Pokemon. I liked it when there was 151 and they just came in different varieties.
I don't acknowledge the new, except for the one that looked like a fucking egg.
The league is too big.
What's the egg Pokemon? Not the actual egg, because there is the egg one. They're the egg Pokemon, yeah, but that one. Which that character debuted, I think, Togepi debuted, I believe, either right before Pokemon the movie came out or in Pokemon the movie. And they had a couple weird ones in that short before the movie started, like the fucking bulldog or whatever, and then the one that kind of looked like Pikachu. But other than that, I don't acknowledge anything other than the original. I'm all about the OG Pokemon. Only one I acknowledge. Also, here's a little conundrum for folks out there. The bathroom here at work, there's a bathroom in our front foyer. It's the poop bathroom. It's where people go and poop. They found poop on the seat once. It's the poop bathroom. It's always has like this very humid poop smell to it. I'm sorry to open this up with poop talk. I'm very sorry. We haven't done it in a long time. We have a water premium, a bottled water premium in our office right now. We don't have as many as we usually do. And there was one in there on the we had like a stand for some of the Barstool. We sell like body wash and stuff. There was a Body Armor bottle of water, unopened, completely sealed, filled to the brim. However, it's sitting in the poop bathroom. Do you take the water if you need the water?
No.
I'm disgusting. I'd do it.
It's basking in the air of poop.
I think the whole office is at this point covered in something.
That is true. Our office, so that's a different.
That is a clean spot here.
That is a different scenario. Our office is disgusting, so that it's not like there's much of a difference between the bathroom and everywhere else in the office. I just saw it today. I'm like, man, like there are moments here where like you do want a bottle of water. I mean, we could always get water. What the fuck are you drinking right now, Chris?
Gatorade Zero.
Wow, that is pink.
Yeah.
Chris has it is like toxic pink.
Yeah, I
know you're drinking. I thought you were drinking Pink Whitney for a second. Holy shit!
No, I wish.
Yeah, I came across that conundrum this morning. We have enough water, or it's fine. But I was like, damn. Do you do you take the poop water from the bathroom? That was basking in farts all day. I don't know. I'm sorry. I started it off with poop talk. I know people hate that. People hate that. Oh my god. They there's nothing more. They're like, oh, Jeff's talking about poop again.
Poop is always funny. It's always funny.
It does always play. Excuse me. What also plays is whoopee cushion humor. And Chief from Barstool Chicago office got tricked into sitting on a whoopee cushion the other day, and it was perfectly executed.
When I watched it the first time, I knew that he actually sat on a whoopee cushion, but the sound itself I thought was added in. It was such a perfect whoopee cushion sit down sound. Like, wow, that feels like it was added in.
I gotta go pull it up. I can play it.
If we're still talking poop, I have a major problem that just came up in my life. They just opened up a Popeyes, probably a block away from me, not even, and it's the nicest Popeyes I've ever been inside of. It's over on West 4th. It's so nice, and it stays up until 4 a.m., which is
they do stay open late.
Yeah, and so I found this out Friday. They opened up Friday. I was like, all right, I'm going to go check it out. Went after the bars. It's like 1 a.m., and I was like, how late do you guys stay open? They're like 4 a.m. I was like, well, I don't need to know that. And, of course, Saturday night rolls around, and I go there at like 3 a.m. and just get another chicken sandwich. So my asshole has been torn apart for the past 2 days. I may get it tonight now because I haven't had Popeyes in so long. It's like I've been a lot better lately about. I just do the sandwich. It's nice. Just the sandwich and then just go home, and I have Diet Coke in the fridge.
I'm a complete garbage human being. So when I'm down the shore on the weekend, I don't eat much. I kind of get like one piece of pizza at night or like a couple of mozzarella sticks. And then I just drink because I'm complete garbage. But when I come back on Monday, I do treat myself to a bad, gross dinner. And then I'm back to my like PB2, like high protein, low cal sandwiches the rest of the week. So I may get Popeyes tonight. Here is they're opening a White Castle in Manhattan, by the way, in Midtown. So that's a big deal. For those who don't know,
big development.
Yeah, for those who don't know New York City well, there used to be one. It got closed, and they opened a Jollibee. And now they're opening one like right by where it was. Here we go. This is the sound of the whoopee cushion.
How are you doing?
That's a clean rip.
That is a great whoopee cushion sound.
Felt like that feels like a good fart right there.
Yeah,
that's a good. That came out of my asshole. I'd feel just 10 times better.
Yeah. All right, we'll stop talking about poop and farts and stuff. I'm sorry. I had to. I was like, damn, this is kind of like a good. That sounds like the lamest like party like icebreaker. Like, all right, here's the scenario.
When is that White Castle opening?
Very soon. There's been a PF Chang's to go trying to open on my street, which I almost gave away my address. It's still not open. It's been coming soon. Literally a year ago, like this
open
week. No, and apparently it's like a liquor license issue. They're trying to sell liquor and they can't get a license in the city.
One of our coworkers lived on top of that for like 6 months at one point. I thought it was open.
I didn't know I lived that close to one of our coworkers.
Yeah, Meat Suit Riley.
We're on video and I look like complete shit today. I just realized I looked up. I gasped.
I'll just blur you.
Yeah, just do that. Emmy nominations. Let's read through them quick. Any comments are welcome. Outstanding comedy series for primetime Emmys. Abbott Elementary, which I've heard is funny.
I've not watched it.
I've heard it's a funny show, but I have not watched it.
I like it when network TV's got something in there.
Yeah, which is rare these days. Is it the only one?
I think so.
Yeah, wow. Barry, HBO, not surprising. Curb Your Enthusiasm, not surprising. Hacks, Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Still going.
Only Murders in the Building, which I have seen. I watched the first season. I heard the second season was delightful as well.
With Barry, do you guys have you guys watched the most recent season?
I have not. I do like Barry though.
It's tough to call it a comedy anymore. It's about as funny as Succession. Like, it's got a funny character, but the rest of the show is just very.
Is it because it's Bill Hader? Like they're like, see, the Emmys is routinely stupid.
Season 1 was for sure like dramedy, like dark humor, and I think it deserves the drama nom. I mean, it's a great show, but in the comedy section, I don't know if I'd put it there.
Ted Lasso, which
Obviously, yeah.
and What We Do in the Shadows.
I haven't watched the most recent season of What We Do.
I would my guess, this is based on nothing, is Only Murders would win there. I feel like Only Murders has a lot of steam, though. Ted Lasso, the way Ted Lasso is received, but Only Murders in the Building seems like it has a lot of like steam behind it.
People have the season 2 of Ted Lasso got such mixed reviews. Not that mixed, but much more than season 1. I'd be surprised if they go back to back.
Drama series Better Call Saul, which is I do not watch Better Call Saul, which that's not out of preference. It's a show that I will watch. I have watched it, but I haven't watched.
For us to talk about the show.
I know the show is having like a great fucking season. Euphoria, Ozark, Severance, which was fucking fantastic. Squid Game, that makes sense. I could see Squid Game winning just due to the hype. Stranger Things, which had an awesome season. Succession, which, I mean, that's in my humble opinion, should win. That season was fucking a masterclass. Yellow Jackets, which I've heard Yellow Jackets is one I do want to watch. I've heard it's fucking great.
Showtime, right?
Yeah, I'll put that up there with The Boys.
I'd go Severance in that category. I think Severance is like the best
Severance was great
of television I've watched in a while.
Succession, though, has 25 nominations. Yeah. That's crazy. Outstanding limited or anthology series, Dope Sick, The Dropout, Inventing Anna got a nomination.
I knew that was going to bother you.
That's crazy. I mean, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Nominated for why?
What would you have swapped it out with?
Nothing. Just don't nominate it.
Are they allowed to just nominate as many shows as they want?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually do not know the rules for the Emmys.
I think it's a set number for every category.
It is
go over or under.
Okay.
Just judging off like how many each category had, it was consistent across the board for, back and forth.
Last year it had 5. This year it had 5. Year before that 5. It looks like it's been 5 for a long time.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. But
I don't know.
I didn't love a bunch, really, any of those. I haven't watched Dope Sick yet.
Dope Sick was great.
Yeah, and I hear that should be the favorite. Pam and Tommy.
Watchmen only won 2 Emmys ago. That's crazy. I feel like we watched Watchmen like 10 years ago.
It's because it came out right before COVID.
And then there's a bunch of other, like, I'm not going to go through all that shit. Acting, performances. I mean, there's a lot to go through here. But like the classic names, lead actress in a comedy series, Rachel Brosnahan. Kayla Cute goes up again for Flight Attendant. I feel like Rachel Brosnahan wins every year that we don't have Julie Louis-Dreyfus or Phoebe Waller-Bridge nominated.
People were
Gene Smart maybe for Hacks.
People were furious. It was fun watching the reaction on. I think they came out Wednesday. For The Boys, people were so mad there was no nominations for The Boys, but it wasn't eligible. It's not eligible until next year for some weird reason because the final episode premiered like 2 days late, even though Stranger Things also premiered the final 2 episodes.
That was like when My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy missed the window for the Grammys by like a day, and then it wasn't even fucking nominated.
Chris, you got any favorite show this year?
I don't watch that much TV. I don't. I know I'm disappointing people. Well, I'm probably not actually disappointing people with that. I don't watch I watch a little bit, I watch a fair amount of Euphoria, just because it got memed so much online. And I find it to be one of the most fascinating pieces of media I've ever seen because it's a show that to me is too good. Like, what I mean by that is the actors are too good at playing high schoolers that it makes me really uncomfortable. I know that
show did
sounds
make me, I watched like 3 episodes. I got 3 episodes in and I was wildly uncomfortable. I was like, I don't think I should be watching this.
Right. Like, I think Sydney Sweeney is amazing in that show. Like, I think her and Zendaya
got nominated. So does Zendaya.
Yeah. That's not surprising to me at all. But watching it, like, in fairness, I'm not the only person who's like complained about it. It's not really a complaint as much as an observation. Like, I think it's a excellently well-made show. I think the cinematography on it is incredible. Did think the ending to season 2 got a little bit silly with the play and everything, but it's really well made.
Did you watch Skins growing up?
Off and on, but I'm very much aware of it, and I know kind of. Yeah, there's been comps between the two of them. Yeah,
I'm kind of shocked that
I watched it in middle school, and I was like, wow.
The Summer I Turned Pretty didn't get nominated. Yeah. No nomination for The Summer I Turned Pretty. That was surprising. What a great show.
I watched The Bear this week.
The Bear is good. Our coworker Glennie Balls The Bear on in our house this weekend. And The bear is good.
It reminds me of not like tone or like writing wise, but like Chef, where you watch it and you just watch people cook and you're just like, wow,
Yeah.
damn, that looks good.
Donald Glover, Bill Hader, Nick Holt, Steve Martin, Martin Short, Jason Sudeikis. Lead actress drama, Jodie Comer, Killing Eve. Like she's been nominated for Killing Eve for 15 fucking years.
Yeah.
Sandra Oh, Zendaya, like we mentioned, Laura Linney, Melanie Linsky for Yellow Jackets, Reese Witherspoon for The Morning Show. How the fuck did that
The morning
get
show
any
what was it, like,
nominations again?
Was it their first season when they picked up like
Tim
18
Cook
noms?
just begging the Emmys, please
Which is funny because now Apple TV is like actually good.
nominate our dumpy show. Yeah, like they have other good shit.
Now it's like really good. Like
They-
they've been putting out like a lot of good stuff.
Truly do not need.
But the morning C is
Yeah.
I found out C is still going with Jason.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Jason Bateman, Brian Cox, Succession, Jeremy Strong, Succession, Bob Odenkirk, Adam Scott, Severance.
Obviously, yeah.
Squid Game got a lot of acting nominations. Succession got a ton of acting nominations, especially in supporting as well. J. Smith Cameron, who plays Jerry, Sarah Snook, who plays Shiv. On the male side, Kieran Culkin, Matthew McFadden.
Yeah, Matthew McFadden, I think deserved. He was so good.
He was unreal this season. He
I think he did the
unreal.
heavy lifting.
Billy Crudup is still very good in The Morning Show, by the way. I do like him in that show. Nick Braun got a nomination for Succession. They got a couple
That's surprising.
guest acting ones. Nick Braun was very prominent though this season.
Yeah, it just seems like such a almost gimmick character.
Yeah, no, he is definitely like. I mean, he is the comedic relief, and more so than the past seasons because Tom Wamsgans became a little more of a serious character, like a more tragic figure. Still funny, very funny, but way different. Yeah, White Lotus like got almost every nomination for actress in White Lotus and Dopesick got basically every nomination for supporting actor or actress in a limited series or movie. Yeah, so we'll see. Atlanta got a bunch of little things, but didn't get a series nomination. That was one thing that I saw pointed out. Yeah, that's the Emmy noms.
Hell yeah, Emmys.
They did it again. The Emmys did it again, folks. What won last year? Ted Lasso and The Crown. That's right. I mean, it's just so odd because like shows take it's a year off. I mean, it used to be so consistent, right? Like shows used to be so consistent with the Emmys. Like it'd be ER every year, The West Wing every year, Friends, Seinfeld, all that. But now it is different because like Succession 1 year, off for a year, Succession back another year, all that. So kind of gets like mixed around. Yeah, Flight Attendant season 2, not good. Not good. Did not like it.
I didn't watch season 1, so
did not like it.
I'm watching
A lot of like dream sequences in that show. Is too much.
the better Kaylee Cuoco show on television, which is Harley Quinn. Comes back, I think, next week.
Yes. Ms. Marvel. I thought it had a great ending. I thought Ms. Marvel had a really good ending. Spoiler alert. Big spoiler alert. She's a mutant. They announced she's a mutant. She's not the first mutant, I guess. But she is a mutant. She's not an Inhuman like some thought she might be. I thought the show was great at the top. I thought the show lost a little bit of its charm in the middle. A lot of its charm.
Pretty much all of it.
Because I love the style. I loved how fun it was. And then it kind of went away. I thought the ending was really good. Iman Vellani is very good.
Yeah, that's one of their better castings they've had.
She
in the
is
past, like, 5
great
years.
as Ms. Marvel. That's the funny thing is I think no matter how good or bad you think all the new stuff has been, I think all the castings have been fantastic. That's kind of the more I think about it.
Hey, I would agree with that. In terms of her, yeah, no, you're right. I don't like some of the return casting. Not so much the casting is what they've done with them. But as far as her being a mutant now, I have a question for you guys because with the multiverse being what it is, would you prefer with X-Men stuff that they start from scratch, entirely new cast, or do?
Yes.
One thing I didn't bring this up in the review, but I hated the way that Patrick Stewart was used in Multiverse of Madness. I just thought it was so like Logan was such a perfect conclusion. You bring him back for 5 minutes just so you can kill him again. Would you guys rather they just start from scratch with that new cast, new Wolverine, or would you want him to bring back, old,
No, I want new. I definitely want new.
Same.
I think they almost have to.
Yeah.
I think that's actually kind of why they did that too. I think that was like a good little way to be like, hey, here you go. Here's your Easter egg. Now we get
it did. These versions do exist.
So
yeah,
it is so weird. The X-Men is so inconsistently bizarre just across the board, just because like it's been the most fucked up continuity. I mean, they had to retcon and go. Is there no bigger fucking god damn it than when your franchise has to travel in time to retcon things?
Yeah,
like it's my favorite.
They
like
made it work somehow though.
They did. Yeah, I thought the ending was cool. Captain Marvel it appears at the end. Brie Larson, the bangle, which is a thing that Ms. Marvel wears on her arm, it activated and they switch places. I think that's a very obvious what happened. I believe my guess would be that she was fucking with the 10 rings, because at the end of Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel's there with Bruce Banner, and is Okoye there? Or am I mixing it up with Endgame?
Yeah.
I think she
is there.
Yeah,
and Wong, and I would imagine that the 10 rings and the bangle seem so similar. I imagine they swap places because of that, and that's what did that. She will be in the Marvels. Ms. Marvel.
They fixed her hair.
They did another haircut for Brie Larson.
Yeah,
another haircut for that character
For the better.
No, the hair.
I'm sorry. Nothing against any of my short-haired women listeners, but not a great look for Brie Larson in that role.
No, I didn't think it was. I thought the ending of the show was good. I thought this was one of the few that actually like nailed the ending. I thought it wrapped up and was very satisfying. The suit stuff was very satisfying. Had a lot of great moments in the show. I just think that the style really, and it is. I listened to the review from our friends over at the Weekly Planet, Mr. Sunday Movies. They mentioned too, like, and on the heels of the news that working for Marvel, like GFX is a fucking nightmare. A lot of like the charm was lost halfway through. It's almost like they were like, we did a lot in the beginning. We don't have time for this now. We got to wrap this thing up.
It was strange. It was almost like two completely different shows.
Yeah.
Like, it's like this isn't even the same show.
But it ended well, and that's what I like. The ending was very satisfying for me. So
they're not doing season 2. They're just doing 1.
I would assume they won't, but I don't know, because she's gonna have a big role in the Marvels. So
right. This is one other thing, because I'm just so fascinated by this series. Is Moon Knight gonna play into any of this, or is that just the only Marvel one-off?
I think it will later, maybe because of Blade and Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
But I don't think like compared to the Marvels, no.
Right. Okay.
Compared to Ms. Marvel is going to be very ingrained.
Twitter loved Moon Knight. Twitter's not a great place to get opinions from, but I didn't like it at all. I didn't like Moon Knight at all.
Everything for me, like I think
there's been one good series. I think it was Loki, and then there was a mixed bag, which would have been
I think WandaVision
and Miss Marvel are like mixed bags for me, where it's like there's a lot of good stuff and then just stuff I don't care about, and then the next 4 series like just kind of fall in a bag for me, where I'm just like, I'm never going to rewatch this stuff ever.
Yeah, WandaVision stumbled for me at the end. But I mean, I enjoyed it. And now next up for Disney Plus, it's She-Hulk.
Of course, Attorney at Law,
She-Hulk. Rumors that we're going to see Daredevil, which would make sense. The character makes sense. Also rumors that we're going to see the Thing from Fantastic Four. Did you see that? That's been on the Marvel Studios spoilers Reddit for a while, and now it kind of made its way to Twitter. I don't believe that.
That casting?
It's Jason Segel, right?
Yeah. I don't buy that.
I could see that casting. I kind of like it.
I see it too, actually.
And also, Penn Badgley's been rumored to be Reed Richards.
Yes, I actually really like that casting.
Me too.
But I don't like that I'd meet the Thing in fucking She-Hulk. I don't, and that's not even a She-Hulk thing. I don't want to meet the Thing on Disney Plus. I don't know. Maybe I don't want a Fantastic Four. But see, actually, that's the thing. I do want a Fantastic Four origin story, because I want them to do it right.
But I want it in a movie.
I don't want it
to introduce them on TV.
Yeah.
They're the first family of comic books.
My prediction, though, when they do Fantastic Four, it won't be in origin. It'll be one of those we're going to pick up. You already like Spider-Man: Homecoming. You already know the story.
I'm cool with that type of origin, though.
Yeah,
because that was sort of an origin.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm fine with it. I just think they're very. It seems like Kevin Feige is very keen on avoiding repetition when it comes to these storylines. It's why you didn't really get a Hulk origin. You didn't really get the Spider-Man origin, or at least not the typical comic book way. I bet they do that with Fantastic Four.
Yeah. So that's a big rumor. That's not even a leak, by the way. If it was a leak, I wouldn't have said it. That's just a rumor.
Yeah.
I thought that was killed off. There's another rumor that that Steven Spielberg was going to direct.
Oh, that came out. I never even saw that rumor, but then when I saw the confirmation,
Was it Fantastic Four?
Yeah, it was. I think Fantastic Four. It's like Steven Spielberg will
No,
not
because wait,
direct
Peyton
Fantastic Four.
Peyton Reed is doing Fantastic Four.
That's not good.
Is he? Did they find a director for that?
Peyton Reed did direct like some of the best Mandalorians.
Yeah, he did. He directed the finale of season 2.
Didn't he do the Spider episode? Wasn't that Peyton Reed?
He might have, yeah.
No, okay, so it's not Peyton Reed. Peyton Reed.
I had. Did they replace John Watts yet? I don't think they did.
No, okay, I thought they did. Huh. Interesting. I swear I read that. Maybe he was gonna do it. So it seems like no. So they said Steven Spielberg was gonna direct it.
I still really want Edgar Wright, speaking of Peyton Reed, to come back and do a Marvel movie.
Well, he wants to do. Oh yeah,
That would be a good one for him to do. To be honest, Fantastic Four.
Rumor that Steven Spielberg could be directing Fantastic Four sounds really cool. Not gonna lie. Well, it's fake, folks.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to have one of the 5 greatest directors of all time direct one of the biggest blockbusters.
Francis Ford Coppola's Fantastic Four.
That'd actually be really do it like family
George
style,
Lucas.
really dark.
George Lucas. Okay. All right, moving on. Don't want to get into
Enough
director
Marvel
rumors.
talk.
Yeah, we're back to Marvel talking. Daniel Kaluuya not back for Black Panther 2.
Oh, wait, we're not done with Marvel. That's not good either. I'll be honest.
That's a bummer. That's a huge. That's a bummer. There's a plot leak on that movie too. I have not read it, but I know it is out. I don't know if it's true or not.
It's a bummer, but it's not surprising because his star has risen substantially.
He had a
since.
small role. Yeah.
He had a small role, but I expected him to have a massive role in Black Panther 2 because I was like, well, you lose, obviously, Chadwick, R.I.P., but you still have one of the best actors in the world on your cast. I was like, they're probably going to try and use that to their advantage, and him just not being there at all, that's tough.
Well, so it was for Nope, the new Jordan Peele movie. He had a conflict, which we will be reviewing on Sunday, which, by the way, big episode this coming weekend because it's the Comic-Con recap, and Marvel is having a big panel. So we will see about that. First trailer for the Munsters. Rob Zombie's The Munsters.
Everyone's
man, I don't
what everyone's been asking for.
So it's supposed to be corny and that's the point. It's campy. I am kind of excited for it still. Trailer is the longest 2.5 minutes ever, 2 hour minutes and 30 seconds I've ever seen. But I like the Munsters. I've watched the Munsters, watched it growing up. I don't know how this will be. Something seems off though. And I don't mean off in the sense that it's like old looking and campy and dumb. Something just seems off. Like not that it looks old, that it looks like it's trying to be old, right?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it's trying to look like the Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas. I don't know. But I actually kind of love that decision and make it really fucking campy because it's the Munsters. Like, don't take yourself too seriously here.
You're right. There's something off, Jeff, with it's the digital way it's shot, and like it seems like it might be shot with a higher frame rate. Maybe I'm kind of a novice when it comes to this stuff. And the way it plays out, it looks like either behind the scenes footage or a fucking porn parody of them.
Somebody said it looks like it was shot on an iPhone.
That's a great comparison. It looks like a porn parody.
Because
not that I've ever watched one.
So scantily put together. Like this is an awful trailer. And damn it, I wish the dislike button was still around for YouTube trailers because this thing would have broken it.
I will say the comment that it looks like an iPhone, it was shot on an iPhone, is not like that. Doesn't mean like this. Actually, now I'm looking at the trailer for Tangerine, which was shot on an iPhone, and it looks like it looks like a lot like this. Tangerine was fucking a good movie though.
Yeah,
by what's his face? Sean.
The guy who did Florida Project, right?
Yeah, and Sean Baker, and Red Rocket. Yeah,
Red Rocket. Yeah.
Steven Soderbergh did an iPhone movie too.
Yeah, what was that? That
Unsane?
weird with Clay. Yeah, terrible title.
Was it Upgrade? Like a lot of Upgrade shot on an iPhone?
It might have been, yes.
Yeah. Really, this is a terrible trailer, but I knew it would be. All right, here's every show I got to have that one opinion. Rob Zombie is not a good filmmaker.
That's not a crazy opinion, though.
Okay,
That's not. You're not like throwing out a crazy take.
But
I think
people have this reverence for him, like he's made something great. He's made almost exclusively bad movies. Like this trailer opened with "From Rob Zombie, the director of the remake of Halloween." Like that's not something to be proud of.
That shit
Grindhouse
sucked.
fan.
The original Halloween, the new Halloween, he did this 2 Halloweens were fucking horrible.
So like you reap what you sow, studio heads, because why would you give this guy $40 million to reboot the Munsters? Do you remember after, I think it was in between Halloween 1 and 2, his next like passion project was he was going to direct a remake of The Blob, and it fell through, and Halloween 2 totally tanked. I don't understand his popularity. He's maybe made one good movie, and that was Devil's Rejects, which was like 16 years ago.
I thought you were going to say like the Werewoman of SS.
No, yeah. Especially you look at his last like 10 years. It's rough, man.
Yeah.
The Lords of Salem. That was a bad movie. Ken Jack is much higher on this. Actually, that's a huge dip. Wow, I didn't know that. So Devil's Rejects I like for what it is. I don't love it. My freshman year roommate, fucking loved that movie. He was like, man, shit's so scary. And he's not like, he's just like this guy from like Long Island. Like he's not like some like Rob Zombie super fan. He's like, man, fucking Devil's Reject is sick. It's like, all right. House of a Thousand Corpses. Ken Jack has it at an 80. I have it at 51. How about that? That's a big difference with him and I.
Wow.
Lords of Salem was complete dog shit though, and the new Halloween movie. Oh, brutal.
It weirdly has a following though. There are people who do think that. Not the second one, where Sherry Moon Zombie was riding a horse, but there are people who think that first one is like a legitimately good remake. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
Yeah.
Not into that. No, I don't think that's a crazy take. I don't think being anti-Rob Zombie is all that crazy.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Speaking of Halloween.
Yeah.
I have not. What is this? I have not read this.
Oh,
Jamie Lee Curtis is a wild
admission
admission about the first time she met Ana de Armas. I
This is
assumed,
insane.
and I say this with real embarrassment because she had come from Cuba, that she had just arrived. I made into something that she was an inexperienced, unsophisticated young. What the? Why would you say that?
Dude, it was in an interview for Elle magazine, and so they reached out. It was Ana de Armas, like a profile on Ana de Armas. So they reached out to a bunch of her former co-stars. Like they spoke to Chris Evans, and he gave like a really great quote about it. And then it cuts to Jamie Lee Curtis quote, and she basically is like in character, like it's her character from Knives Out speaking. Like the only thing missing, the only thing missing was, instead of saying Cuba, she should have said like Colombia or like, gotten the country she's from wrong. But I mean, just a while, like you would have to waterboard me to get me to admit to something like that.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny, so I threw it in the rundown.
What the fuck?
She said a lot of weird shit. I remember when what was the most recent Halloween? Was it Halloween Kills?
Yes.
Where she was adamant that it was like this. She called it a masterpiece and was adamant that it was like a perfect allegory for Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
Like every interview she talked about.
Yeah.
And then the movie came out. They're like, what the? Outside of their like, there's nothing that's even remotely comparable to what you're saying. Yeah. Bizarre.
Why would you say that?
Especially with what Gooch just brought up. They reached out to her because everyone in the moment has a tendency to say things like that they look back on and go, I shouldn't have said it. She had time to prepare that quote, like be like, I can't wait to submit this to Elle magazine. Like this is really gonna pop, which it did. Probably not in the way she intended.
Our boss and fearless leader Dave Portnoy always says that if you watch The Dozen, our trivia show, I always use Jamie Lee Curtis in our mashups. We mash up. If you've never watched our show, we mash up two faces of celebrities.
Tough one.
And Jamie Lee Curtis, I have used her quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah, not all the time, and not every episode.
You're like, is that Dolph Lundgren?
I was gonna say the short hair probably throws people off. Yeah.
Excuse me, I still got my allergies. I apologize a lot for my allergies. My allergies are bad, and then we went to a mini golf tournament. It airs in August, by the way, for Barstool, and it was like in the woods, and my allergies just I was a joke. I was a disaster. Manscaped. They want me to read this one. They got Bush. Whether you're looking to go bald like an eagle or just in need of a safe trim, Manscaped is dedicated to helping you level up your full body grooming game. The Performance Package 4.0 is the perfect bundle for all your grooming needs. You get the Lawnmower 4.0, all new skin-safe electric trimmer. You get the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, which is great. Never pluck your nose hairs. You could die. It's very true.
Yeah.
Crop Preserver anti-chafing ball deodorant and the Crop Reviver ball spray toner, which is great. Been using it for years. Performance boxer briefs, a travel bag. Don't be the fucking weirdo who shows up on a trip and doesn't have like a DOP kit, like a little kit for your stuff.
That's me. I put it in a gallon. I put it in a gallon bag.
Oh, come on. It all like leaks, like your cologne is leaking on your toothbrush and your deodorant. Oh, come on. They have a bunch of other products as well on their website to help you maximize your confidence in grooming game. That's 20% off of free shipping at manscaped.com and use our code LIGHTS, LIGHTS, manscaped.com. Use code LIGHTS. Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power trailer. Premiering on Amazon Prime Video this September. It's a huge undertaking for Amazon.
Yeah.
Epic drama set thousands of years before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Follows an ensemble cast of characters both familiar and new as they confront long-feared reemergence of evil to Middle-earth. I thought the trailer looked pretty good. I don't really... whatever. Like, I'm going to watch it. So it's one of those. It's like, what are you going to, it's not going to sway me one way or the other. I think the initial stuff we didn't love. I like what I see here. I think visually speaking, it looks better than The Hobbit by a mile.
Yeah. That was my biggest concern early on because a lot of the images just had that Hobbit sheen to them.
Yeah.
This much less so. Much. There's still a lot of CGI, especially in those big landscape shots. But this looks 10 times better. And it's to expect the Lord of the Rings is ridiculous. They did spend a shitload of money on the show though. But to expect the Lord of the Rings again is crazy. And I will admit that I've fallen into that trap at this point with the show already. However, I will say it looks good. That's not the only reason The Hobbit sucked ass, by the way. Hobbit sucked because the story was awful too. It was awful. In one movie.
It was stretched so thin. You didn't care about anybody. Chris, what do you think of the trailer?
I think it looks better than I expected it would. Because for some reason, when they released like the first stills, we were like, this looks, I don't know. It just, again, like the Munsters, it's like, it feels like a lesser, like a parody version of Lord of the Rings. I think it looks really cool. I just have very little interest in it. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be well received. Budget. I give them a lot of credit for putting the money into it that they're putting into it. But I don't know that those original films are so iconic. But I don't really have a ton of interest in just revisiting that universe. But that doesn't make it bad. I think it looks good.
I think one of the big problems too that it's facing is that not only does that trilogy, is it iconic? It holds up incredibly well. Yeah, you can go back and watch it today. It looks just as good as anything else being put out right now. Mm-hmm. I think that's tough. So it's basically competing against itself for another adaptation. I think the actress who plays Galadriel, she's going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting here. It looks like she's going to be the forefront star. Is the way the trailer made it seem. So I'm interested to see. I mean, they don't have a single well-known actor in here. So I like that too. I like that.
Yeah, I do like that as well.
Ensemble fantasy kind of epics.
I mean, I think the other thing too, like I'm excited for it. I'm going to watch it, but I'm not like, it's one of those things like, how good can this be? Maybe it'll be very good. It very well could be awesome. But it's one of those things. It's like, I don't know. I'm going to temper on a personal like fan level. I mean, I think Lord of the Rings is the greatest trilogy of all time. Yeah. Watch it once a year. I don't expect it to be as good. So I don't. It kind of in that weird spot, like you said, Chris. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm going to watch it. Like
it's almost like they're setting themselves up for failure because regardless of the quality, it's just constantly going to be compared to something that is essentially impossible to live up to. I mean, like you said, it's semantics, whether or not you think it's the best trilogy, second best, whatever. It's an iconic film series that ended with 11 Oscars. You're not only going to be in that shadow.
Not only is he competing against that image in our minds, fucking HBO dropping their Game of Thrones series a week apart. That's tough too. And I think that show is going to be really, really fucking good. People forget how good the early Thrones was. And this has a full source material behind it, more budget, and I don't know. I got a lot of faith in that show. Yeah, that's another good note to make. I mean, again, looking forward to it. I hope it's good. Like it's tough in the back of my head to not
think about the fucking Hobbit, which just sucks.
You want to know something sad is I really like that first like 40 minutes of the Hobbit, the first Hobbit that people hate because he never goes on. It's 45 minutes until he goes on the adventure, but I love that first 45 minutes for some reason.
My shit stinks.
I don't know why.
Hobbit, I mean, okay, no, the first of the Hobbits, I can't say stinks. I can't say that. Actually, no, I can't say that. Fuck it, it stinks.
Do you hold those on par with the Star Wars prequels in terms of like taking a really iconic trilogy?
I think they're better than the prequels in comparison.
Yeah, I think as a whole they're better than the prequels. The Desolation of Smog's the best one. It's the only one I have buttered. The Battle of the Five Armies.
That one was really bad. The Battle of the Five Armies was terrible.
Bad. I mean, I have Battle of Five Armies 54, Hobbit Unexpected Journey 68, Desolation of Smog 70. And then the Star Wars prequels I have.
I like that Benedict Cumberbatch played Smog.
Yes. Yeah. I have episode 1 at 51, episode 2 52, episode 3 68. So yeah, I do have it a little higher. I guess when you'd average it out.
I like Sith probably way more than anybody else here, but yeah, that's fair.
I five the fucking goalposts have moved so much they're on opposite end zones now.
Completely, yeah.
But you like what you like, folks. If you like the prequels, you're allowed to like the prequels. I no problem with that. By the way, check out The Black Phone.
No.
You didn't like it?
No, I just don't like scary stuff.
It's fucking creepy as shit. Some people think it's a little predictable. I don't know. I thought it was awesome. Scott Derrickson did it. Scott Derrickson did Doctor Strange, among other things.
Yeah.
It's still raking in at the box office. It's like been picking up steam.
I believe it's on demand now too. Also, Minions Rise of Gru, as I said, not as bad as Minions. It's close. I almost buttered it. Minions fans are angry with me.
Jake Malasek still hasn't seen that movie.
Yeah, our coworker has been talking about it for fucking years, and he hasn't seen it. He's a fucking Minions casual. That's what you are. You're a fucking casual at that point. American Gigolo, starring John Bernthal, comes out September 11th on Showtime. Follows Julian Kay after his wrongful conviction release following 15 years in prison as he struggles to find his footing in the modern-day Los Angeles sex industry and navigates his complicated relationships. Didn't know a ton about this, but I mean, Bernthal he's as committed as any actor, and he always puts in a great fucking performance.
Might be the busiest man in Hollywood right now. That guy's working all over the place.
Yeah.
And he looked really fucking hot in this trailer. It just has to be said off the top.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah.
He's a good looking lad.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
They definitely played into it. Is this a remake of the Richard Gere movie?
I don't know.
No, I
gotta think no.
doubt it.
That'd be crazy. It seems like no is the answer on that. Oh no. It's Julian Kay.
Yeah, it might be.
That is right.
It is.
But it's
good poll.
Is it like a different telling?
I mean, it looks vastly different.
Yeah, I didn't even think of. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, huh? No, I like this trailer. I like John Bernthal a lot. What I like about John Bernthal is that, outside of the Punisher, I feel like he's a leading man, but he has like character actor sensibilities, like that when he shows up in Wolf of Wall Street or King Richard. He was so great in King Richard, playing a role that he probably could be a leading man in a lot of different things, but he chooses to kind of take quieter roles. This is obviously, a heavier role for him. He's going to carry this thing. Good trailer, intense trailer, but I laughed twice unintentionally because this show has the most random cast we've seen in a minute.
I know which one you're about to say.
Fucking Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell showing up.
When Wayne Brady showed up, I'm like, whoa, okay. Which, for the record, both they're very talented people, but that's just
Showtime, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're just so memeable. I was just like, what? I did not expect. I can't remember the last thing she was in. Maybe there was something recent. Maybe she was in a play or something. I can't remember the last movie or show she was in. And same with Wayne Brady outside of hosting, game shows.
That's actually a good question. What was the last thing Rosie O'Donnell did?
Yeah,
Curb.
Does that count?
I'm thinking. Yeah, I can almost not count that because they're aware of the meme there.
Let's see. Last thing she was in.
She's been in Russian Doll.
Okay.
Oh, she was in Russian Doll.
But her character is called Subway Announcer. So is that a real character? They just use her voice.
I know. It's been a long time since she was prominently featured.
Probably not, but yeah, she was technically in Russian Doll.
I know this much is true. That HBO series with Mark Ruffalo, she was in that.
Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas. Don't forget about that.
Classic.
Man, who would have thought we would have brought up Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas twice in one episode?
Which actually, I was about to say, I'm like, no, she fucking wasn't. She was Betty in the first movie, and then she voiced an octopus in the second one. Did not play Betty. Betty was played by Jane Krakowski, actually.
Yeah.
Viva
Stephen
Rock
Baldwin
Vegas
played Barney Rubble
on IMDb, which is almost impressive. You never really see anything get below a 5 on IMDb.
Viva Rock Vegas. I might watch that tonight. I know people are literally screaming and ripping their fucking eyeballs out hearing me say that. Then I'm not going to watch The Boys. But I might get some Bojangles and put on some Rock Vegas. What do we got for the Flintstones at? Man, that shit sucked. But good God, were those McDonald's toys amazing.
I like the first one.
26 I gave it. I mean, it's awful. Also, what's the fucking dog's name? Dino?
Yeah.
Ooh, jarring. Dino was a jarring looking character, live action character. It's like stop motion, I think. Viva Rock Vegas, I gave it 12.
It's almost worse than a 0.
Wait a second. I don't. What was there? Were there other Hanna-Barbera characters in Viva Rock Vegas Easter eggs? Let's see.
Did you not see the Jetsons flying around in the background?
Were they though? What the fuck is this?
What if at the end? What if there was a post-credit scene of Viva Rock Vegas, but nobody saw it because everyone just couldn't wait to get out of the fucking theater? It just was a post-credit scene setting up a crossover between the Jetsons and the Flintstones.
Oh, it was okay.
Speaking of Jetsons, real quick, because
it was the Great Gazoo was in it. That's right. Oh my God, that just Kendrick would have puked if you just heard that just now. What an olds thing. The Great Gazoo. Okay, continue.
No, do you guys remember? I think it was like 2013, maybe. This is my favorite story about this artist. When Kanye West came out and said, I've been hired to be the creative director for a new Jetsons movie. And then a week later, the people in charge came out and said, he is not involved with the Jetsons movie. We're not making a Jetsons movie. There's not a Jetsons movie in production or pre-production. And he just made it up because I think he just really likes the Jetsons.
Have you ever seen the Great Gazoo scene from Viva Rock Vegas?
Yes, I remember that. Oh my God.
Terrifying. The Great Gazoo scene from Viva Rock Vegas might be one of the worst things to ever happen in a movie ever.
You know what that looks like? It looks like the SNL Baby Yoda.
It does. It does. Oh no! Now, by the way, I keep getting suggested on YouTube on the Barstool Sports YouTube channel to rent the Three Stooges movie.
The one that came out like 10 years ago?
Yes.
With the Jersey Shore cast?
I'm not even rent. It's fucking free. Oh, it's free. You can watch the Three Stooges movie for free on YouTube, everybody.
That?
Will Sasso. Is that his name?
Yeah,
Will Sasso. The guy who Sean Hayes, and then the guy who played
the dickhead in Entourage.
Entourage.
Not Entourage, Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley, yeah. What's his name? The Trace Comas Club guy.
Yeah, he's got a long last name. It's like a Greek last name.
That guy was also in the live on stage TV version of A Christmas Story.
That's right. And he was the cameraman on the last season of The Office.
Oh my God, that's right. The one that broke Russ Hanneman. That's right. The one that broke the third wall, right?
Yeah.
The fourth wall.
Yeah.
I forgot. My roommate down the shore in Cove.
Jennifer Hudson was in that piece of shit movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
God.
God.
A bunch of people
run, right?
Oh my God.
She was. Larry David was. Kate Upton was in it. The Jersey Shore cast.
Jennifer Hudson deserves better.
Yeah.
The guy who Stephen Tobolowsky, who plays Jack Barker, many other things, by the way. Groundhog Day, Thelma and Louise, all that. He was I I forgot he played the Harvey Weinstein character in Entourage.
You want to know who played young Mo?
Who?
You're not going to believe this.
It's got to be Skylar Gisondo.
It's Skylar Gisondo.
Yeah,
King himself.
you set that up for me too well.
The Jizz King. Young Mo.
Yeah. That's right. He's in Memento too. But yeah, he plays Stephen Tobolowsky plays a very on the nose reference to Harvey Weinstein. He's like Harvey Weinberg or something. I totally forgot about that. And it's just like, it's crazy to watch that episode because it just like, it played into all the stereotypes of Harvey Weinstein and everyone just ignored. It's wild.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at this cast list. You just scroll to the bottom and it just says Dwight Howard.
That's funny. I like that. I like that a lot. And lastly, HBO's The Idol, starring The Weeknd and Lily Rose Depp, written by Sam Levinson, who did Euphoria. A self-help guru, a leader of a modern-day cult, enters a complicated relationship with a rising pop idol. This
looks bad.
This don't look very good. This doesn't look very good.
It just looks so generic, doesn't it? Like I feel like I've seen the same. I'm a little bit tired of the, rock and roll star / pop star, fast life, high intensity dramas. I feel like we just see too many of them.
There's some, I don't know. It's got a weird vibe to it.
The opening panel, like one of the opening title cards to that trailer, was one of the worst things I've ever seen. It said, "From the sick and twisted minds of the creators of Euphoria."
I hate that shit.
I hated it.
I would imagine
like,
that is Warner Brothers marketing. Like, just do that. This comes out on HBO. I don't know when. Ugh. That came out
I feel like they keep trying to make The Weeknd a thing in Hollywood, and he's not an actor. He doesn't have the face of an actor.
I like his music. I just don't see the charisma. Like
his best performance is probably in Uncut Gems when he just plays himself.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Like
that's a great. I fucking love that scene.
Like I know I went off on this guy a little bit like a few months ago, but like I see why, just in terms of his charisma, like why Jack Harlow is being forced down our throats. Like he is he is a charismatic guy. Like I can see him being in shows and movies. Yeah, I'm with you, Gooch. I just don't see it with The Weeknd. Yeah,
the nightclub scene in Uncut Gems, I just love.
Or in the bathroom, that's great.
Awesome.
Just like the black light, and he's wearing they got the orange fucking shirt. It just looks so good. It looks so good.
That's a pretty movie to look at, man.
Yeah. The Russo brothers.
Fuck Marvel Blue.
We interviewed the Russo brothers, talked to them about The Gray Man, which is out. It is out.
I saw it yesterday. I went to the theater. If you can, to listeners, if you can see it, if it's playing in a theater near you, I know it's a lot to ask because you already have the Netflix subscription, so you kind of already bought the ticket. Watch it in a theater. It's a movie that I wish Netflix had done more to give it a wide release. Yeah,
it is a big action. It's a big action movie, is what it is. We'll review it this weekend, though. Here's our interview with them, though. All right, we are very excited to have back on the pod for the first time since Cherry. That's how we just don't know time based on releases.
Exactly.
That's the easiest thing to do. The Russo brothers, Anthony and Joe Russo. How's it going? How are you?
Good, guys.
Great.
How you doing?
Good to see you guys.
I think good. I think we're pretty solid.
We're on a nice break of shitty hot weather in New York City where everything smells like burning garbage. It's this nice, cool, like high 70s, low 80s today. So we're cruising.
You got out of the heat
That's right.
dome.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's that. They should do that. Like, you know how on like local weather, if it's like Thanksgiving, that they have like little turkey in the corner on like the 5-day forecast, just burning garbage for New York. That's like all summer. Yeah, from Monday through.
Not today.
The Gray Man. We talked about The Gray Man when we talked to you guys last time. We didn't have many details, and now we've literally seen it. Kind of crazy. For those who don't know what it's about, I'll give the quick synopsis from the CIA's top asset. His identity known to no one, uncovers agency secrets. He triggers a global hunt by assassins set loose by his ex-colleague, Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Jessica Henwick. Big names, big production, going to be in theaters July 15th, limited release, and then it hits Netflix. It's finally here. All the hype. It's based on a book. So I got to ask you guys the first question here. Are you book is better people, or are you like us on this show where we're the movie is always better? I'm a book. Maybe it's because my reading comprehension level is like a 0, but that could be it.
I mean, movies are always more compressed than books. Obviously, you can't tell the same level of story in a film as you can in a book. We loved the book when we first read it. That's why we decided to adapt it. I mean, it was a really propulsive read. It was insane action. It was really clever. We also liked that it was tied in to the modern world in a way. Bond is 60 plus years old, and Bourne is 20 years old. And it felt like a very modern hero. The Gray Man is, of course, he's an anti-hero. He's just really a guy looking for his freedom. That's the only thing he wants. And but he has a heart, and gets activated when someone he cares about is in trouble. And it was a great opportunity for Evans to do something crazy as Lloyd Hansen, who's a sociopath.
Yeah, we were really impressed by him. We were also impressed by Ryan Gosling, and he's somebody where he's someone you realize had comedic chops already from his other movies? Because I remember we watched The Nice Guys, and we were like, oh my God, this is like one of the funniest people we've ever seen.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen his SNLs. But,
Papyrus, the Avatar skit.
Hilarious. He's incredibly witty, very dry, awesome with improv. Like some of the funniest lines in the movie are Gosling's lines. He was amazing to work with.
Yeah,
we absolutely loved working with him. And we've been huge fans of his for years. I mean, it's like everybody else. It's like Ryan Gosling's a complete badass. This was a perfect character for him as well. It's this like, he's so understated, Ryan. He's so minimalistic. And this is a character who has to like disappear into the shadows. He has to assassinate someone and move on without people noticing him. So, Ryan's very good at like being very low key and then charismatic and popping when he needs to as the character.
But I will say that even though we knew his work very well, it was one of the great discoveries, I think, of making this movie was starting to like, he's a very smart actor. He's a very smart filmmaker, Ryan, and just starting to sit with him early on and talk about the script and talk about the scenes. And he would just start pitching things and ideas. And there was a lot of wit and a lot of cleverness imbued in all of that. And I think it really helped made a better movie.
I think that helps with the character of Court too, because he kind of like mirrors that same sentiment in a way. A lot of like the wittiness, if that makes sense. And I like they say the minimalist humor too, because like you even notice that when he's getting like punched or stabbed, he's just like making these little like he's just like frustrated groans, and I just was like, that is so funny to me and very small.
He's an existentialist. I mean, all this guy has known, he's had an abusive father growing up, and then he goes to prison, and then he gets conscripted by the CIA. So this is not a guy who's ever lived his own life, so he's trapped in a way. And Gosling does that like 15 times in the movie where he just groans. And we thought it was such an incredible character choice that he made.
He's got the classic Gosling look in this movie. I feel like, especially when he's like, he's in like a tiff and the hair kind of moves in front of his face. You get that in the La La Land, you get that in Blade Runner. But can I get a comment? Have you seen him with the platinum hair as Ken in the Barbie movie?
We did. I thought it was genius. It's amazing. I told him that last night. I go, hey man, that's what you want. You want everyone paying attention. So I was glad. I thought those photos were hilarious, and the stuff down on Venice Beach on the rollerblades. Movie looks really funny.
Yeah, you did have a line too, a Ken Doll line, which was very funny in the movie. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but
that was before that line comes from before he had that role.
That's crazy.
Very random.
We like to think that we inspired him to take the plot.
Yeah. You incepted it. Yeah, you incepted it. On the flip side, someone you've worked with plenty, Chris Evans, much different role than you're used to, at least with your movie. I mean, you were the ultimate good boy, maybe except he's a bad boy a little bit in Endgame, I guess. But how cool is it just to get to have Chris, who looks great in the movie, by the way, we'll get to the wardrobe in a second, just in a role that is so different than what has to be just mindlessly ingrained in your brain, what you're seeing with him with Steve Rogers.
Look, working with him on 4 movies with the character of Captain America over many years, like that was an amazing experience, because Joe and I used to always say to one another, man, there's nobody in the world that could play Captain America better than Chris. He was so good at that role. And but working with him over that time, we got to know him very, very well, both professionally and personally, and we understand his skills, we understand who he is, and we knew that he was capable of doing vastly different work, of course. And so I think it tickled all three of us to just think about doing something that was like as far away as you could possibly get from Captain America. And I think Lloyd Hansen in this movie is pretty much that.
I mean, the Marvel movies for a lot of actors have given them great freedom, right?
Yeah.
And I think Evans feels like, he's been really successful. He had a great run with Marvel. I think he's just interested in taking risks now for the rest of his career. And Lloyd certainly is a risk. He's completely insane.
Yeah, it's almost like his Knives Out character too. It's like it's weird seeing him on the other side of things, but yeah, he did an amazing job. Something I think I've always appreciated about your guys' work is that I feel like you have a very great reverence for stunt work, and that's come across in all the early Captain America movies. And we've interviewed Sam Hargrave too, who you guys worked with a ton, obviously, and he is echoed that a lot. Why has that always been something? If that has been like sort of a priority for you guys?
I mean, look at Joe and I. Part of it is just this, Joe and I work as a team. So every day of our lives, we're collaborating with one another. We love the process of collaboration. So I think like we value everybody we're making the movie with like that, whether it be stunts or production design, music, etc. You sort of like the process of making the movie for us is just coming together with this amazing group of people and figuring out what's possible. And challenging one another and surprising one another and having fun in that process. So yeah, and that certainly extends to stunt work. Now, stunt work has another level of specialness to it in the sense that it's also dangerous. So you have to be very, you have to approach that process respectfully. Because those people are they train extremely hard and they do risk injury in terms of doing what they're doing. And of course, we're all chasing ways to surprise and thrill an audience in ways they haven't seen before. So sometimes that pushes you to do more and more and more, but you have to do that safely. So to have a team together that you trust, that's creatively inspired, that's creatively connected with one another, but also sort of has the right sensibilities about how to do the job properly and safely, like that's a really special thing to create, and you can't take it for granted. So yeah, that's basically it.
I remember watching, I think, a behind the scene or somebody talking about the movie Police Story, and they're like, this is how you could tell fight choreography is done really well. Look how many hits they do before they do a cut. And that's something I noticed in this, and obviously among your other Marvel projects and stuff like that too. And some of the fight sequences in this, particularly towards the end, they're almost like samurai-esque, if that makes sense. I feel like I was watching like one of those old school Kurosawa fights. It was sick.
It's a showdown film. I mean, that's really the essence of what the movie's about, is just like, two immovable forces that smash into each other and who's going to win. We love those kinds of movies, and that's great that you brought that up because we love those films growing up too. And I mean, we like this notion of like Once Upon a Time in the West. One of my favorite movies is, this idea that Brosnan and Fonda are going to crash into each other at the end of the movie, and we're gonna see what happens, and there's some beautiful philosophy that sort of that comes out of their mouths on the way there, about how life is and what their perception of life is, and how their ideals are in conflict with one another, and only one of them are going to be able to walk out. This is that kind of film, right? These two guys see the world in completely different ways. They both have an objective that is in conflict, and only one of them can win at the end of the movie. And so the movie is hopefully this very elegant journey towards these two guys smashing into each other in a very violent way.
Yeah. Wardrobe in this movie is fantastic, especially Chris Evans, which I couldn't think of what in my head. I'm like, I've seen him like this before, and I think it's the Marvel. Granted, we have how many Infinity Gauntlets on our desk?
3, I think, right now.
We have the Hulk sized one. We have the we have so many. It's ridiculous. So I think it's that. It's because I was thinking of Sebastian Stan and I, Tonya. That's why I was thinking of like the mustache and like the polo. Yeah. But that's so I haven't seen Chris Evans like that. But where did that start with the wardrobe for his look? Whose idea was that specifically? I don't know how tied it in with the book, but it looks awesome.
We wanted him Eurotrash. We wanted this guy who was self-obsessed and wore overly tight shirt and pants.
And part of it was just trying to really again, we thought about these two characters, the Ryan Gosling character and the Chris Evans character, as these two sort of immovable forces that are just coming together, on an inevitable collision course with one another. And part of the fun of that for us was figuring out, how do we make these people more opposites? So if Ryan Gosling is the gray man, where he's quiet and controlled and disciplined and doesn't do a single action that's not necessary because he doesn't want to waste his energy because he may need it. How is Lloyd Hansen the opposite of that? How is he the loudest person in the room? How is he reckless? How, he just, and that the wardrobe was very much an extension of that in your face attitude that the character has, where he wants to sort of walk into every room and tear it up. But it's sort of grounded in that.
It's I like the Eurotrash. He looks like a discotheque guy. I can see that now that you mention it. Yeah. We got to give you guys credit. You filmed the movie in Prague and you didn't use the blue filter over the camera, which every single director loves to do whenever they're in Prague or Eastern Europe. They got to throw the big blue filter over everything.
We did not. We went warm with it. It's all warm colors.
I remember when we first were thinking about doing The Winter Soldier, and we were talking to some cinematographer about it, and he said, talking about the look of the movie. And he mentioned, like, are we going to use Marvel Blue? Marvel Blue. And we were like, oh no, we can't. If there's something known as Marvel Blue, we're going to run from.
We're going to use Russo Gray. That's what
there you go.
Don't fuck with that Marvel Blue. Yeah.
What would you guys say is like the gold standard of espionage movies? Like one that like you guys would say like that is like the ultimate spy movie that anyone should want to aspire to get to?
I think Ronin.
Yeah.
I am Ronin.
Oh yeah, great movie.
Yeah, and it's weird how it's sort of fallen off the radar, but it's one of the best action films ever made. And it was an 80-year-old Frankenheimer basically just showing everyone how to do it. And I think that's probably, you asked about stunts earlier, it's like obsessions with movies like that, with McTiernan films. It's why we love practical stunts. We like merging them with VFX because we like the scale and ambition that can give you when you need it. But that's why, a lot of Winter Soldier was as practical as it could be until you got to the big third act. That's why a lot of this movie, except for, the plane sequence for obvious reasons, we certainly couldn't, blow up a real plane with actors on it. But, that's why a lot of this film is practical. And we train our actors really hard because we like you to see them on camera doing these things. So that is Gosling doing 90% of the fighting in the film. That is Chris Evans doing 90%. We only take actors out when we know it's going to be very dangerous.
I like that you mentioned Ronin. I only recently read that they crashed 80 cars making that movie.
And the sound design in it. Remember that car chase down the freeway going the wrong way? I mean, it's all, it's
a good double feature for anyone watching Heat. I feel like if you watch one, you should watch the other. They're
agreed.
Yeah. It's funny that there's there's a big sequence in the movie where the Ana de Armas character is driving a red Audi RS7. And in order to do that, execute that sequence, we needed 7 of those cars because we had to rig them in different ways. We had to wreck a few of them, etc. But it was like, it's pretty, it's a pricey car to have 7.
Yeah. Jesus. Would you give them away after the movie's wrapped? You're like yeah, you want the extra Audi? You want the extra G-Wagon? What do you
doesn't
want?
have a wheel axle, but
a crew gift. What a crew gift that would be. Yeah.
Exactly.
Gray Man Reminder out theaters July 15th, and the week after you can watch it on Netflix. Go check it out in theaters though, because it does have a huge, big budget feel. Then check it out on Netflix. Show all the friends. But we got to talk about a couple other things before we go here today. Are you just completely like the cupboard of Marvel things to talk about? Are you as scraped clean on everything as humanly possible? Like, do you still have a couple like little secrets deep down that you're like, I got to keep this, just like cling on to it a little bit?
We don't, because that machine keeps going once you leave it. I mean, there's no we're buddies with everyone over there, but we've got our own shit going on and they've got their own shit going on. So there's not a lot of crossover. And I frankly rather show
any like old Easter eggs maybe that you haven't even dropped. It's like,
I don't know. At this point, there's so many Easter eggs. God knows what, I think we've talked about all of them at this point.
But that you look at those movies, that was the kind of opportunity where you just you spend it all on everyone. You don't hold back anything. And it sort of forces you into a position of having to find a new place to go, which is a good place to be creatively. But yeah, I think we pretty much
spent it all.
Yeah.
There was a Vanity Fair video the other day where Taika and Tessa Thompson were like looking over a scene from Love and Thunder, and she pointed out to him a scene that he had like misedited. Has there ever been a moment like that for you in any of your Marvel movies where like when you watched it back after it had already been released, and you're like, shit, we should have fixed that?
There's one beat, I think it's in Infinity War, and we couldn't fix it, and it was Holland when he shows up on the ship with Downey. We went back and reshot 2 of his lines, but I have no idea why, but his hair was completely out of continuity with the way his hair was when we originally shot it. So if you watch it closely, while Downey's yelling at him for showing up on the ship, his hair like completely changes in one cut, and then it's back in the next cut. We didn't have enough time to put it through VFX to fix his hair. See, at Marvel, like there's so much money for VFX, you can kind of fix anything. It was one nobody caught until we were just ready to release the film.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where I noticed something that you're talking about is more in the sound, because the sound design, like on the Gray Man, is extremely involved, complex, layered, specific. And there's a massive, we spent months and months and months working with our team to craft that. And you get it to the point where you're like, okay, everything's perfect. And then it goes into theaters, and every theater you're in, the speaker setup is different, they lean on this a little more, lean on that. You can't, there's not enough consistency theater to theater. So whenever we love going to screenings, because we love feeling the energy in the room with the audience, but it drives me crazy because everything sounds different, and it's like, I'm just like, oh, why?
Mm-hmm. I would love you if like, we were in a screening with you with like Endgame, and we hear 2 people behind us go, "Oh fuck," and we're like, "What is that?" Like, it's like the audio doesn't sound.
The audio is leaning too much to the left versus right. We mixed this perfectly.
Yeah,
we'll move on from Marvel, but I just want to say, can you I want somebody, because we're guilty of this too. We asked the question like, "Oh, hey, we just had like Wyatt Russell on. We asked, would you return to be a captain, U.S. agent again?" I want, whether it's you guys or someone, one day to get that question and to be like, nah, fuck that shit. I want somebody to say no one time. Be like, nope,
never coming back.
I never want to. Just even if you're just joking, I want that to happen one time, because I know like the headline will be stunning to finally read that. They're like, Russo Brothers say no thanks,
never again. Well, a year or 2 after that, we'd have to reverse ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
and hell freezes over.
Yeah, much older project from you guys. I'm doing a rewatch right now. It's my favorite show. Tied for favorite with The West Wing of all time, Arrested Development. We actually didn't really get to ask you guys about this.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, you guys directed many of the early episodes of Arrested Development, some of the best. Many people think Top Banana is the best one. Individual favorite moment of that show. Do you have one? I know it's very hard to pin down.
I think my favorite was Peer Pressure, where the hot cops show up to arrest George Michael.
I just rewound that about 3 times the other night.
We shot that at like 2 a.m. on a dock in Marina Del Rey. And the cops were just like, you're supposed to be out of here an hour ago. And we're scrambling to shoot that thing. It was crazy. But that one always makes me laugh the hardest.
The thing that's been, for some reason, this has been popping in my head over the past couple of months, like randomly at night when I'm in bed, and I can't get it out. And it's a very simple thing, but it's just Jeffrey Tambor saying to Jason Bateman, "There's always money in the banana stand."
Mm-hmm.
I just can't get that phrase out of my head.
It's just a timeless, like a nonchalant way he says it in so many different moments in those early episodes. It's just,
and then the payoff too.
And I will say, we mentioned this to Tony Hale.
Yeah,
we've talked to Tony Hale twice. NPR, I don't know if you've ever seen, NPR did an insane breakdown of all the interconnected jokes in the show and where every single running joke first shows up. It's the craziest website I've seen for a TV show. Was there like a lot of planning with early jokes in Arrested Development? Because it's crazy, because you're in the biggest interconnected thing ever with Marvel. But Arrested Development, I mean, even just the little hints to like Buster losing a hand, that was even early on in like the first season.
Lucille. I mean, our brains were all a lot sharper back then. We were younger in those days. We used to sit on set. I mean, it was Anth and I, and there was a writer from the show, Chuck, or Mitch would come down when he could. And it was a lot of just, with the actors, everybody was so clever and sharp that we're always doing call forwards, call backwards. We knew what was coming. So there's lots of little jokes being thrown in all over the place. Anthony and I love it. I think this is where we got our penchant for Easter eggs, is hiding things in the frame, doing weird background jokes. We did the pilot of that show, so we were sort of involved from the inception of it through season 2, at which point I think we left to work on another show. Was it Community?
I think so. Yeah.
And then I think it was earlier. Community was later than that. Our heads were in that in a way that where it was all we all thought about every day we woke up. And
I'll say this too about that. I think it speaks to the fact that like our brains kind of work in that way. We think outside of the specific narrative that we're in at the given moment, and I think that's why we took so well to the Marvel storytelling and why we're so interested in sort of narrative universes. But that's kind of like an early version of it in that Arrested work, where you're thinking about things that may happen in the future. Callbacks are one thing, but when you're sort of doing a sort of a, what's it called when you do it before?
I say call it a call forward.
Call forward, call forward. I mean, that's a different form of thinking, and it's just something that's really appealing to us.
From losing a hand to Infinity Stones, it's good.
It's full circle.
Some of you guys in gloves in hand.
We are intertextualists. We do like making jokes, referring to other things that we've worked on. We like being very self-aware, self-reflexive, because we grew up like you guys. We just would talk about movies with our friends all the time, and we crack jokes about them. We'd say the lines from them, everybody hanging out in a car, and somebody would just drop a line from a movie and everybody would start laughing. That's what we like, So all of our films have some fuckery in some way in them, and they're we're guys who have a hard time taking anything seriously. So we sort of make fun of our stories as much as we try to revere them. So you get this like strange hybrid of tone where you're laughing, but there's also some jeopardy.
You guys produced a movie recently that I absolutely loved, which is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Just got my Blu-ray in a couple of days ago. What was your guys? And this is something interesting that I think you feel like you guys are doing now in the producing sort of role. Like you help produce a movie from a guy who's a stuntman / stunt choreographer turned director. You're directing some of the stuff with the Daniels, and the Daniels are some of the most like eccentric, eclectic filmmakers there are out there. Is that something you guys are more interested in doing now, like moving forward, like branching out and working with directors that maybe are from the non-traditional path, so to speak?
Yeah, we have very eclectic taste.
And it speaks to our origin, really, as filmmakers. We started off as very micro-budgeted indie filmmakers in Cleveland, just sort of doing our thing for no money. And then we were able to bring our first movie to the Slam Dance Film Festival, and Steven Soderbergh just ended up seeing it at that festival on a recommendation, and he reached out to us, and he helped us produce our next movie, a real movie after that. But that was an incredibly pivotal moment in our lives. And I think that's something that we want to pay forward. When we can reach out and sort of help people make films that maybe nobody else may lend a helping hand to, and we can enable a film that might not get made otherwise with filmmakers who might not be able to do it otherwise, that's a really important role that we can play. And we know how important it is because it happened to us. When Soderbergh was interested in our movie, he was basically the only one. Nobody else had any reaction to that movie.
It was a completely insane film.
Yeah, but sometimes fellow artists can see something special in your work that the business may not be able to see. And so we do think like that is our role now that we've...
We also had a weird upbringing where we weren't commercial filmmakers when we started. We were indie guys. And our first movie was as nuts as Soderbergh's Schizopolis or anything the Daniels have done. So they really reminded us a lot of ourselves when we first started the businesses. Soderbergh and Clooney taught us how to work in the commercial space. And I think that's why there's always this sort of veneer of like a wink and a nod to everything we do, because it's not in the commercial space, because it's not something that came to us naturally. So it's fun now that we have achieved commercial success, that we can, help open the doors for others who are playing around with more dramatic experimentation. Daniel's certainly, like you said, there's nobody more eccentric right now making movies.
Between Swiss Army Man and it's it's crazy that Everything Everywhere All at Once is somehow not as crazy as the previous Daniels movie, but
yeah, and the fact
it's crazy that like like audiences all over the world are falling in love with it. You know, it is such an eccentric movie. It's Dada-esque.
Highest grossing movie of the A24s in their entire history. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, amazing. But there's real emotion, and I think that was a critical part of it. When we saw Swiss Army Man, I watched it with my kids, and I absolutely loved it. Well, they're all teenagers, right? So
okay, all right.
we love the film, but I remember thinking like that's when I was like, oh, these guys remind me a little bit of us. If we just push them this way, like 10 degrees, there might be slightly more accessibility in a way that could be ignitable, because they're like Michel Gondry, where they're so good at like in-camera tricks. They're so polished at the way that they've developed their style. And I think it felt like, look, if they did something within a genre, that it might anchor the insanity in a way. And as long as there was real heartfelt emotion, it could be explosive. And it was a very personal movie for them. And I think that's what audiences are reacting to, is that genuine emotion, that mother-daughter story that's at the heart of all of the crazy.
We said it too when we did a review, the idea that in a time where the multiverse is crazy, but it is so tied heavily to existing IP, that a multiverse movie came out with no existing. It's kind of original. It's cool. It's just straight, and that's coming from Marvel fans, but that's just flat out cool to see. It
connects really with everyone. It's awesome.
Towards the end here, run out of time. The Gray Man, again, 15th in theaters. See in theaters. Think guess what? Watch it on Netflix a few days later. We didn't even get to the other one. I mean, we didn't get to Hercules. We talked about Hercules last time. We won't. We won't press.
That's slowly. I mean, Disney moves at their own pace there, but Guy Ritchie's now involved.
Director tied though. Yeah, that's
big director.
So we're slowly making baby steps towards production of that one.
Love it. Well, thanks again as a fellow Cleveland Browns fan. Thanks again for how our producer's a Bengals fan. I don't let him talk though. Still bitter. Thanks so much, guys. Check out The Gray Man. Hopefully we'll talk to you again.
Thank you guys. We'll talk soon.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I went to that Cinepolis. Have you ever been to that?
I do not like this. I do not like No, I don't like the fancy theaters. Give me the fucking classic AMC with the rickety chairs. I like my theater.
I was comfortable, and it was a nice viewing experience, but I did get there like a little bit early, and it was brutal just not having Maria Menounos or Nuvi on the screen. Like they weren't showing anything. They were like doing like trivia facts on the TV, and I was like, I don't like this.
I will.
It's also $20 for a Sunday afternoon showing.
Give me AMC 99 out of 100 times, and maybe the one time I want to go to an Alamo Draft House for like a wacky experience. But I will always take a good classic AMC. I like the other ones too. I like Cinemark. Cinemark's got good popcorn.
Cinemark's got great popcorn. That's all they have in Kentucky, and yeah, I miss their popcorn all the time.
Cinemark's got good hot corn.
They used to have this thing at Cinemark too, where you could, and they probably still have it, where you buy a bucket and it's like a reusable bucket. Every time you go, it's like $3.50 to fill up. It's amazing.
I am a little upset that Uber Eats is not doing the AMC popcorn delivery anywhere but Chicago and Kansas City right now.
Feels like here should have been the first spot because the popcorn will stay freshest because you're in the closest vicinity to all these.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that it's not in New York City. I mean, they're testing it out, so I get it. And look, we can't have everything. I feel like New York never gets to test shit, though.
Yeah, they try to work out the kinks before they come here.
They never get to test stuff. It's a bummer.
Always Indianapolis.
We're doing a draft. Ken Jack's on here to explain this one.
I had some questions too. So
I think Ken Jack was like high on cost.
I had no idea what I was.
But we're gonna do it anyway. So he texted. He said, "Hey, we're gonna do a movie baseball draft. Baseball movie draft. We may be doing this wrong, but we're gonna do it the straight Hollywood way." He said, "Manager equals director, pitcher equals lead/protagonist, catcher, first base, second base equals co-star, shortstop equals character actor, third base equals antagonist, right fielder, cinematographer, center fielder, composer, left fielder, cameo." I mean, maybe it's to make it so it's a baseball graphic during the All-Star week.
Right.
Yeah. Before we started, Chris said we need to make it like the Derek Jeter dating profile.
Yeah.
I think ESPN.
I'm sure that's what Ken Jack was going for.
Yeah.
I was confused for a moment though.
And for just, it's not limited to baseball movies. Like I could pick.
Oh no, I'm not doing anything that has to do with a movie.
Yeah,
right?
Okay,
I didn't do anything with
that's what I
baseball
thought. Now, real quick, just the one question, we can set our ground rules here. For antagonist, are we picking an antagonist from
No, you're picking an actor.
an actor to play the antagonist?
Actor or actress all across
all
the
right,
board.
All right, that's what.
Are we creating a storyline? Because I have
No.
several going
I was not going
just
to.
off the cast alone. I think there's going to be some storylines going, but
Um,
yeah, I can't write a script too.
all right, it's a draft. I'm gonna go first. I'll give myself first pick.
Okay,
Then Chris, then Gooch.
that's fine.
I'm gonna go director. I'm gonna rip. Oh man. I'm gonna do a Tarantino movie.
Ooh,
I was gonna do Denis Villeneuve, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna do a Tarantino movie. Okay, that's my pick.
all right.
Chris, you have second pick.
All right. I don't know if we're technically making. I'm
We're
just
just gonna go in
assuming this.
order.
I'm just assuming. Yeah, I think it'd be.
I'm not gonna go in order.
Okay.
Oh, really? Oh,
I'm gonna bounce around. You can bounce around.
I'm still starting with manager / director because, and I'm just assuming this is a movie about baseball. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I want that whimsical feel that comes with watching America's pastime. Nobody does it better. I'm going Spielberg.
Okay, I like that. Old Stevie Spiel.
Yep.
That's what they call him in the business. Gooch, back-to-back picks.
All right. I'm going to start with director too, because everybody knows a good manager in baseball matters a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to start with Clint Eastwood.
Mm.
Just feels like a guy that should be in a baseball dugout, and I would love to see him in a baseball uniform too.
Wait, why would he be wearing a baseball uniform?
Because the manager wears a baseball uniform.
Yeah, I think it's just.
This is like a Taylor Sheridan wearing a cowboy hat and riding around on set.
But this doesn't. But they're not going to be on a baseball diamond.
Okay, well,
I get it. It's open to interpretation. I get what he's going with.
Okay.
But But has Clint Eastwood ever done a sports movie?
that's a really good question.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
So, because he
Trouble with the curve,
Trouble
right?
with the curve.
did he
Yeah,
direct that, or did he just star in it?
I just starred in it. But you would think like
With his son, right? Wasn't Scott in that too?
I know Justin Timberlake was. I don't remember if his son was.
I think his son was the player. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, it's weird that you would think like one of the most famous like movie stars of all time, like a notoriously famous like tough guy, has never done like in his prime never did a sports movie. It's weird.
Trouble with it. Throw him the curve. That's a classic Trill Ball.
Yeah, this guy made it all the way to AAA baseball without being able to hit a fucking curveball.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Trouble with
Wouldn't
the
even get
curve.
drafted.
Trouble with the curve is literally already in the movie Major League. All right,
Okay, back to back.
back to back.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go pitcher.
Yeah.
Lead protagonist. I'm gonna go Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
No,
Just a big unit on the mound.
Your movie sucks.
Listen,
The movie already sucks.
you need to sell tickets to the stadium. You need to sell tickets to the movie. Dwayne the Rock Johnson's your guy, and I feel like he could carry a show, carry a movie.
He would
could
be
lead a
so
team.
bad in an
He
Eastwood
could give
movie.
I picture him giving a nice little speech right before Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah.
He would be just absolutely brutal.
Everyone's drinking Zoa in the dugout.
Chris, you have the next pick.
That's a good pick. You're going with maybe the most marketable, bankable movie star in the world right now. I'm going with a guy who I know is a huge baseball fan. I know is a huge stoolie, and whose career is red hot right now. Miles Teller.
Oh yeah, that's a great pick.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, with the Project X too, where he's the baseball star.
That's
your
right.
lead?
I forgot about that. Yeah. So
He just
and
plays
yeah,
Miles Teller.
of course, right. That's what everyone says. It's funny because I like Miles Teller a ton, right? Like you guys know how I feel about Whiplash, but it's funny to me that like his reputation, I think, was hurt by his character in Project X. Like I think people associate his personality with that character.
What, just being an absolute bro?
Yeah.
Are we sure that's not him though? He
It might
kind of
be-
seems
it
like that.
It might be, it might not be, but he's good in everything. I don't know. Like Andrew Neiman wasn't a bro, and
He's also like boy is like best friends with Chase Crawford, who's also, we had him in here, absolute bro. No, Miles Teller's a great pick. I love that.
Thank you.
That's a good lead.
He had a great swing too in that project. That he hit the gnome.
Yeah, that's right.
Came out. Nice looking swing.
My Tarantino movie lead actor is me, Bryan Cranston.
Ooh,
I would love to see that. Him in a lead role of like a wild ass Tarantino movie. And
he's
then
the pitcher.
Yeah, I'm not doing the baseball reference.
Jesse,
I don't get it.
Jesse, throw him a curve.
I do not understand the baseball reference. I think he just wants the graphic to look like a baseball.
Jesse, we need to lay a sack bunt. Jesse.
You can continue to do the baseball thing if you want. I'm
doing it.
I'm gonna then. Composer's tough because Tarantino doesn't really do that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna go. Man, do I go co-star? I think I'm gonna try to get some. Get a co-star thrown in here. I must have Bette Midler. I don't know why. That's just like no, I'm gonna go Glenn Close. Glenn Close.
She's your catcher.
I'm not doing the baseball reference. I don't get it. I will show you my list though, and you can absolutely line up how you want.
Stocky. I think she'd look good behind
Glenn Close would be fun. It'd be a fun role for Glenn Close. I gotta go. No, if I'm not trying to be ages, a little younger after this. And then I have back-to-back picks. Character actor J.K. Simmons.
Damn it.
Fuck.
Which is like
we all have
J.K. Simmons has a great baseball name too, and that's what
that's kind of a cheat at this point because like he is still a character actor kind of, but like it's tougher to view him as that with an Oscar in his hand. But J.K. Simmons,
he's but I still, when you look at his filmography and the fact that like the amount of movies he does, he's still a character actor.
They can plug him in anywhere.
Yeah, he's the red M&M dude. I mean, he's the legend.
Yellow M&M.
Or yellow. That's right. Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be mustachioed?
He's got, because what was it For the Love of the Game where he played the Sam Raimi movie where he played the manager and he had the mustache in that.
I used to have that one of the first movie posters I've ever had for some reason was For the Love of the Game. Don't know why. That movie traumatized me.
For the Love of the Game. Wow. Chris.
Wait, Jeff, did you just make 3 picks in a row?
Did I?
You went.
I did.
J.K. Simmons is back.
You can do 2 picks.
I think I know where Chris is going.
Man, you can. I'll just take Glenn Close off the board. Good luck taking. Yeah, you're really going to take Glenn Close?
Well, no, I was. If you took one off, I would have taken J.K. Simmons. But if I'm making 2 picks, it's
no. I guess I cheated a little bit. You can take J.K. Simmons. I took him second.
Okay, yeah, I'll take mine third. Yeah, that's a weird one. I was wondering. Okay, that's funny. So that he would be.
He had draft day drama.
So did you just swipe J.K. Simmons for me? You're alled to.
Chris has
Yeah,
J.K.
yeah, I got J.K. Simmons then.
It's all right. I got plenty of character actors lined up. I'm not worried.
Yeah. All right, now it's Gooch for 2.
All right.
Yeah.
So got The Rock on the mound.
Yeah.
Need a good catcher to go with him. I'm going to go Vin Diesel. I feel like they can have good chemistry together.
This is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Vin Diesel's also kind of built like a catcher.
Yeah.
He's got a nice little stocky build to him. He's bald. I feel like that'd look good in one of those little hard hats. It's also got just a good sports name, Vin Diesel. It really doesn't sound much like an actor. First base. Need someone tall. Someone that looks good in pants.
I just want to remind everyone listening: we're not drafting baseball teams.
We are.
We are not. They're not playing.
I like how this is going to play. I really do wonder. Like,
yeah.
I watched A League of Their Own week and a half ago with my mom. Great movie. I was, Gina Davis, nice height to her. Obviously, star of the movie. So I'm going to go Blake Lively here. A nice little 6-foot actress, tall. I think she'll do some damage on the hot corner.
All right, Blake Lively.
Is she really 6 feet?
She's 5'11". 5'11".
Yeah, she's tall. She looks tall. Yeah. All right, Chris.
So for my co-star, we got Miles Teller, we got J.K. Simmons. I feel like there could be a little mentor story here if it was a baseball movie of maybe a guy coming up through the system in Miles Teller, and maybe a former star whose star is shining not so bright, who's trying to find his way back. And that actor would be Ryan Reynolds, who, it sounds weird because we associate him so much with like Deadpool and Van Wilder. Ryan Reynolds is not like, he's what, mid-40s now, I believe. I'd like that dynamic between the three of them, especially directed by Spielberg. So I'm going Ryan Reynolds here.
Okay. All right. Ryan Reynolds for your next pick. Co-star for me, Tarantino, wacky ass movie. Bryan Cranston, Glenn Close already lined up. I don't even know what this is at this point. Some sort of modern day like Tarantino heist movie. I'm going Lakeith Stanfield.
Oh,
I love Lakeith Stanfield. I think everything he's in, he's been absolutely fantastic. Judas and the Black Messiah, Harder They Fall, Sorry to Bother You, Uncut Gems. He was nuts. He was in that scene.
Yeah. I almost watched. What was that? What was that Netflix rom-com he did? It was like a romance movie. I don't know if I'd call it a rom-com. Came out in like 2018. I almost watched that yesterday.
What?
Because I was like, I want to watch.
movie?
I was literally like, I want to watch some Lakeith Stanfield right now.
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Someone Great.
Oh, Someone Great. I've already. He was in The Girl in the Spider's Web. That's a movie I don't remember a lick of. Not an ounce. Oh, he's in Knives Out too. He's going to be in the new Knives Out, I would imagine.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I'm a big Lakeith Stanfield fan.
He's magnetic when he's on screen. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten like a lead, like a big time lead role. Like obviously, Sorry to Bother You was his movie, but I'm talking like massive role. He dominates every scene he's in. It feels like.
My next co-star, I almost just picked 80 Bryant from SNL.
Okay.
I almost picked 80 Bryant. I'm gonna pick
doing commercials for the.
I'm gonna pick character actor though. I'm gonna go Joey Pants, Joe Pantoliano. I would love to have Joey Pants in this movie. And then my next co-star pick is absolute. It's a masterclass. It's gold.
You're doing 3 again.
I'm not picking it yet.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, my next co-star pick is fucking gold. But continue.
Can't wait to take it.
Reminder, here's this draft. We're not drafting baseball teams. Chris is drafting. So I'm drafting just a movie. Chris seems to be drafting sort of baseball movie. And Gooch, you're just drafting a baseball team of actors.
Yes.
Okay.
Gonna be a lot of divisiveness, I feel like, when people talk about this. It should be fun. Let's see. I want to go with another guy that I feel like I'm amazed has not been in a sports movie. I don't believe. Because I feel like he's got a build for it. And I guess he has been in a superhero property, but never been the lead. Idris Elba. Always charismatic, likable actor, versatile actor.
As a co-star?
Co-star number 3, yes, I believe. Or maybe 2. Technically 2.
You have Miles Teller, Ryan Reynolds, and Idris Elba. And J.K. Simmons. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Idris Elba. I mean, Idris Elba I fucking love.
Yeah.
That the first time I watched that new trailer for that movie is coming in, I was like, wow, this looks really stupid. Beast. And every time I see that trailer again and again in the theater, I'm like, wow, this is going to be the greatest movie ever made.
It's a bizarre project for him to take.
Very weird.
But
very, very weird.
Little tangent here. You know who's in that movie who I swear hasn't been in anything in a long time? Is Sharto Copley, right?
Who?
Vickis from District 9.
Who? Look this up.
The main character from District 9.
That's his fucking name? I watched District 9 so long. District 9 is so fucking good.
Sharto Copley, yeah. He was in the A-Team and
Sharto Copley.
Yeah.
Oh, he was. Wow. I didn't. Why did I think?
He also played Chappie.
Who did I think played? Who did I think was Murdoch in A-Team?
I don't know, because you had Liam Neeson, Rampage Jackson, Bradley Cooper.
Who did I think played? That's gonna bother me. If you would have asked me just now, I would have said something completely
Who
different.
the main character in District 9 was?
Vickis van der Merwe, right?
I did think you were saying Sharto Coldplay initially too. By the way,
sir.
I would have never. Wow. Okay.
He's still fucking great in District 9, by the way.
What kind of name is that? South African.
Yeah, he is.
Anyway, continue.
Well, no, I was just saying I hadn't seen him in anything in a long time, and I think I saw him in the trailer for Beast. I'm like, I always like that guy, man.
Looks like the last thing he was in was Chappie or Hardcore Henry.
Hardcore Henry, yeah.
Yeah, I have to remember that movie, the video game movie.
What's your next pick, Gooch?
All right. I want to shore up the right side of the field next to my first baseman, someone with some good chemistry with Blake Lively. I'm going to go Anna Kendrick.
Okay.
Nice little short second baseman. I know that they work well together.
This movie's a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
This movie's a classic.
This movie stinks. Next.
Space Jam has a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's one of the greatest.
That is true. You raise a fair point. What's your next?
Yeah,
you're next.
Okay.
You're next. Your next pick.
Character actor. I couldn't really decide here. That was actually between a few people. But I'm gonna go with Luis Guzman, who is just always funny, and I feel like he's probably pretty good at baseball.
Playing short.
Okay, once again, just a reminder, we're not drafting baseball teams, but that does seem to be what Gooch is doing. Chris, another pick.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. I'm going to go with cinematographer, and I'm going to go with a guy who's on in all. Well, shit. And I'm thinking there's two, and I almost want. Now I have to go Deakins. I got to go Roger Deakins to be a cinematographer for a sports movie. I almost went. Well, I'm not going to say who I went with because I don't want somebody else to take the pick. But yeah, I mean, the GOAT cinematographer, maybe like ever. I mean, 13-time Oscar nomination, 2-time winner. You saw what he did with 1917. I want to see a baseball scene that's one huge one shot, like what we got with 1917. I think that'd be incredible. So yeah, I'm going with.
How would they do that?
Deakins.
We go with who? Say it again.
Deakins.
Oh, I thought you changed it last second. Yeah. Deakins would have been my pick, but I have to go with Tarantino's guy. So I didn't even like. I have to punt on mine.
Okay, good. All right. I thought you were going to go.
It just didn't make sense. I'm not a movie connoisseur if I don't actually give Tarantino his guy. I mean, Deakins is absolutely fucking goated. It's unbelievable. It is on. It's. I gotta restart that shot. I gotta restart that list of movies. I would tweet shots. I stopped doing that.
Stopped around like 120, I think.
Yeah. Because we have the website called Shot Deck. It's great awesome. Website.
It's amazing.
Unreal website. You just get amazing shots from movies and stuff. All right, back-to-back picks for me. Antagonist Jeffrey Wright.
Ooh.
We'll love him to be like a heist movie, like a Tarantino heist movie villain. And then my co-star number 3, a stripped-down role, the comedic relief, a little more serious, though. Kyle Mooney from Saturday Night Live and Good Neighbor stuff.
Yes. Who can forget all of his great SNL skits?
all of the great SNL skits that never made air.
The funniest thing is like the best SNL thing he ever did wasn't even on SNL or even like a skit cut for time. It's that clip of him dressed as Macklemore, and someone walks up to him. It was like, Macklemore, can I get an autograph? Can I get an autograph? He goes, not unless you're gay. Not unless you're gay.
It has to be one of the most underused SNL people ever.
I think it's easily the most.
Yeah.
They never knew what to do with him.
No, I mean, excluding people who ended up becoming like huge stars, like Robert Downey Jr. and shit like that. A guy who was on the show for a long time, and they just never got him right. Very bizarre. It's Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. I was gonna say the Baby Yoda.
Fucking awful.
I respect the shit out of them for bringing Baby Yoda back though, and doing it again, just knowing that people hated it.
Yeah,
that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Chris, another pick.
All right, I'm going. I have Cameo now that I believe. So I'm going to go with, I'm tempted to pick somebody from the Tigers organization and just put them into this movie. Yeah, fuck it. I'll do that. Let's go. Al Avila, the GM of the Detroit Tigers, is going to have a cameo in this movie as the I don't know, the bumbling janitor.
Definitely a baseball movie.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, why not?
I'm trying with Daniel Schlereth, son of Mark Schlereth. That was his name, right?
Yeah,
Daniel.
Organization for a while.
Yeah, the only Tiger I know. I only know one Tiger ever. It's Daniel Schlereth, and then that one guy who has like 500 homers and 3,000 hits. I don't know his name.
Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah. Gooch. Back-to-back picks.
All right. So villain. I'm gonna third baseman. Sorry. I'm gonna
don't fuck it up at this point.
I'm gonna go, and I just have to do this because I just at this point I'm so entrenched in Gosling memes. It's got to be Ryan Gosling. I need him. I need him in there. I need him in a baseball uniform.
Will you allow his hair to slowly get
can do
more
it
messed up throughout the movie?
Whatever he wants to do.
Okay.
Whatever he wants to do, he can do it. Also, has he ever done like just a straight villain?
The closest I think would be, and even this guy wasn't really a villain, but he was a very flawed character, was Place Beyond the Pines. I mean, I can't think of
Looking through it right now. I don't think he's ever done a straight villain.
No.
Jared Finette, The Big Short. Big Short characters.
He is. You could argue that he is a villain.
Yeah, no, I'd love to see Ryan Gosling at some point do a villain role. So I'm giving it to him here.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll get that villain performance with Ken.
And then, yeah, I know it literally could be anything.
Bringing that Kenergy. Yeah,
it's Kenan time.
Let's get into the outfield. For composer, I'm going to go, and this is actually the only composer I think Tarantino's ever really worked with. Ennio Morricone.
Yes.
R.I.P.
Which is
so it's the ghost of Eric.
That's why I'm not picking
Ennio
a composer
Morricone.
for mine. I have an outside the box pick with mine.
Yeah,
he did that for Hateful Eight.
He has one of the best sports soundtracks, or soundtracks that gets used for sports commercials and highlight reels of all time. The Ecstasy of Gold, one of the best songs ever made.
Yeah.
Really. So yeah, I'm gonna go Ennio Morricone.
Okay, another pick for Chris, which is clearly a baseball movie now.
Yes. If we're doing base, I mean,
it's a Spielberg, like the movie be called like Pitcher's Dream or some bullshit.
Exactly. Well, which is why I got to go with one of Spielberg's boys to be composing, not just Spielberg's boys. He's the GOAT composer, John Williams.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the lead track of the movie, The Pitcher's Dream. That's the name of
Dream. Yeah.
That'd be like the lead song on the soundtrack. I have back-to-back picks here. Cameo, Matt Damon.
It's going.
So it's a Red Sox movie.
It's not a baseball movie. I can't stress that enough. I'm not making a baseball
Drafting
movie.
baseball players.
Which we don't even know what we're doing. One of us, we're all doing it differently. We all could be doing it right. We all could be doing it wrong. One of us is, I don't know. We'll ask Jack. Composer, because it's Tarantino. He's not really going to need a composer much. This is a heist movie, The Beatles. He's a big Beatles fan.
Okay.
Live and Let Die, like Get Back. Like I'm thinking of all those songs in like this heist movie. I thought about going Arcade Fire, but I feel like Quentin Tarantino hates Arcade Fire. Just doesn't. And also, Arcade Fire can only really be in a movie. Arcade Fire only works in whatever genre Walter Mitty is. So
it wasn't. What movie featured that one Arcade Fire song and people went nuts about it?
Wake Up.
Oh, right. It was Where the Wild Things Are, right?
Yes, it was. It was.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. So right there, Where the Wild Things Are is like, if you told me it's the same universe as Secret Life of Walter Mitty, I'd believe you.
It's very funny because like once every 3 weeks, someone will post in the Reddit and be like, I thought the Walter Mitty thing was just a meme, but it's actually a good movie.
Yeah, no, it's a good movie. Also, like, I'm going to say my last pick now because it doesn't matter. I picked Robert Richardson, the Tarantino's cinematographer. Like,
Damn, I was about to take him.
No, you were not. All right, another pick, Chris.
Back to me. Let's see. I need a villain here. I mean,
Rob Manfred, right? Am I right?
No, but you know who's going to play Rob Manfred if he can somehow hide the accent? Because few people have ever played villains better. Christoph Waltz.
Oh yeah,
is my villain pick. Speaking of Tarantino, guys, that's mine. It's been a minute since he's been in something. Can he be in something again? Christoph Waltz.
He was fucking downsizing, and I think he was.
It's been a minute.
He was so fucking embarrassed. He was so embarrassed about downsizing.
He was in Alita. Shout out my Alita army.
I do like Alita. Alita grew on me.
Even that was a while ago, though. That was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Longer than that, I think.
Gooch.
All right, cinematographer, center fielder. I'm going to go Gordon Willis, who is also a ghost. He's the cinematographer behind The Godfather, Manhattan, All the President's Men. One of the best of all time.
Some guy took a photo with me yesterday, by the way, speaking of All the President's Men, because that's 100 out of 100 for me, and that reminds me that Willy Wonka's 100 out of 100. Somebody came up and took a photo of me yesterday and goes, yo, Willy Wonka sucks.
How could you possibly...
Hey, if you're listening, I go, fuck yourself, okay? You piece of shit.
I could see saying, I don't think it's 100 out of 100. Thinking Willy Wonka sucks, though.
I also saw the guy yesterday who bought me drinks and then said, let's race these drinks. And if I beat you, you have to watch The Boys. I beat him. So I'm like, I'm not watching The Boys. I saw him yesterday. He goes, I didn't forget. I'll be like, what are you not forgetting about, buddy? I beat you. I ain't watching The fucking Boys. Not yet. I did say I was going to start this weekend. By the way, I told Kendrick I watched last weekend. I did not watch this past weekend. Maybe this week.
I'll be honest. I don't think you're going to love it.
It's
there's reasons why, but I won't get into it. It's very on the nose with a lot of its commentary, which I don't think you like when movies or shows do that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean,
I kind of think I am going to like it now, and it's going to be like a very like no shit. But I said I was watching this week, and I didn't. I will watch this week. Who's your cameo? Your last pick?
Oh, cameo. All right. So in the outfield, I got Ennio Morricone, Ghost of Gordon Willis. Shit. And I'm going to go with Ted Williams' head in the field.
God. Right. That'd be funny.
One of the most bizarre stories in the history of stories is that
very bizarre.
Is that whole
very
deal. And that still gets brought up. It's funny. I got one more. I need a love interest. There's a few I'm choosing between, but I'm basically saying Miles Teller here is the main character. So I need somebody who I think would have good chemistry with Miles Teller. I'm gonna go with Catwoman. I'm gonna go Zoe Kravitz. Yeah, her
I wanted to sneak her in. Yeah, I wanted to get her in there somewhere, but I couldn't find a spot on the roster for her.
Yeah, she's awesome. So yeah, Zoe Kravitz here.
All right, so here's the movies. Gooch, I don't even know if you made a movie. You just put a bunch of people on a roster, which I guess maybe that's what Ken Jack wanted.
Angels in the outfield.
Clint Eastwood, The Rock, Vin Diesel, Blake Lively, Anna Kendrick, Louis Guzman, excuse me. Ryan Gosling as antagonist, cameo by Ted Williams' head. Gordon Willis as cinematographer, composer, Ennio Morricone. Sure. Chris, a baseball movie. Steven Spielberg directing. Miles Teller, Ryan Reynolds, Idris Elba, Zoe Kravitz, J.K. Simmons, Al Avila. Cameo and antagonist Christoph Waltz. Cinematographer Roger Deakins, composer John Williams. Mine is a heist movie. Quentin Tarantino directing. Brian Cranston in the lead.
Yours is a heist movie?
Yeah, Glenn Close, Lakeith Stanfield, Kyle Mooney.
What are they stealing?
Joey Pants.
Oh, like Signs.
What? No, fuck off. Matt Damon, cameo, Robert Richardson, cinematographer, and then the Beatles for the soundtrack. Who did it right? We'll have to ask Ken Jack who did it right. I think he was high on cough syrup when he did this thing.
I think it was wonderful, though. It was
it was fun.
And we picked a good week to do it because this is the...
Yeah, no reviews. I mean, like, there's a couple things we could have done, but I wasn't jazzed up about it. Didn't want to, like, bullshit a review. We have a big one this upcoming weekend. We're
going to do the all 22 football team.
Yeah.
Both sides of the ball.
Yeah. We got that's right. We got Nope next week, right?
Nope and The Gray Man. So check those out. Dune Part 2 began filming today.
I thought it began filming like 2 weeks ago.
No, I guess they officially said today.
There's some if you look up Florence Pugh, there's pictures of her as Princess Cerulean online. She looks good.
I kind of don't want to.
Normally does.
I kind of don't want to. Like,
have you finished the book?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I'm a ways into it.
You're gonna have a quick turnaround on that. It's supposed to come out what? Yeah, next fall.
Yeah, I need to. I mean, also, do I stop reading when it gets to the? And I know how it ends. I've learned so much about Dune lore at this point. All right, that's it. For Chris and Gooch, I'm Jeff D. Lowe. We will talk to you next time.